Good evening, everyone. I'm Vaishnavi Vaiti from Kirin Advisors. Welcome to the virtual roadshow of C2C Advanced Systems Limited. Today, we will provide a brief overview of the company and its innovative business model, along with the insights into the defense and aerospace industry. Established in 2018, C2C Advanced Systems Limited is a defense software provider highly customized and agnostic to all areas of defense, army, navy, and aerospace. C2C means command to control. The company offers 41 systems, command, control, computing, communication, intelligence systems. Now move to CNI systems, integrated vessel management system, combat management system, drone command and control system, anti-drone command and control system, and integrated platform management system. From management team, we have Mr. Krishnamurthy Chandra, part of the promoter group. Good evening, Krishna sir. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Mr. Murtuja Ali Somar, Executive Director and Chief Financial Officer. Good evening, sir. Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you very much.
Commander LSS Narendra, Chief Operations Officer. Good evening, Narendra sir. Welcome.
Good evening. Thank
And we
you.
have CA Yogesh Jain, Director of Beeline Capital Advisors Private Limited. Good evening, Yogesh sir. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Now I hand over to Krishnamurthy sir to give a short intro about the company and its future plans. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Krishna. I would like to give you a little background information about the company. The, the company is set up primarily as a software-first company in the area of defense. This is the thing that you do not see. You see a plane, you see the electronics, but what you don't see is what we provide, which is pure technology-driven software for the military and military applications as well as security applications. What we build is command and control, which is a top-down, domain-focused activity, which is all driven on very complex software that delivers the ability to deliver the data that comes from seekers, sensors, and other systems into a unified platform that you see on a sheet of glass, that you're able to control the entire environment using that particular information. This is what we build. As I said, our software is complex, and it's unless we understand the domain, it's very difficult to build it. This is an output of nearly 14, 15 years of development by my partners, Narendra and Ramesh, and coming together in the form of C2C Advanced Systems. We are present in every discipline of the military, may it be air, water, land, space, and also autonomous systems. So when you say command and control, it essentially gives you the ability to look at what the situation is on a microsecond basis and to be able to act on it very quickly. This is what the current warfare is all about. This is what we provide. And as part of it, there's a lot of other systems we provide, like combat management systems, battlefield management systems, navigational platforms, the unmanned vehicle control and command, counter UAV systems, and so on and so forth. We are a unique company in the world, unique company in India. And what we have seen is that what we provide, it's hardly provided by 5 or 6 companies globally. And that is exemplified by the fact that we sold our command and control system for the Malaysian Navy, Royal Malaysian Navy, and others against international competition. So we are very clear that we have something which is very unique and also something that we believe has a tremendous future, not only in India with the Atmanirbharata, because in the previous years, most of this was imported. We have a system that is accepted globally right now, and we believe that we have the wherewithal to really reach for the stars over the next few years. With that brief introduction, I just wanted to add that the team that we have built has over 200 years of experience, and they are incredibly brilliant in what they deliver. They are technologists, deep understanding of the domain, and also the ability to compete against the best in the world. With those introduction, I'll hand it over to others to take it further. If you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer them later on.
Thank you, Krishna sir. Now we will play a short corporate video. It will take few minutes to play the video, so I request you all to wait for 2 minutes. Thank you.
I'm going to study. No, Jack. See? No, 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 no. See? You and me.
Due to some technical issues, we will play the video later. Now we will start with the presentation. Over to you, Narendra sir. Thank you. Sir, you're on mute.
This part of the introduction already Mr. Chandra has given. Can we go to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
So basically, this slide talks about our capability in the defense and security domain as well as the industrial domain. What we are basically trying to say is the technology that we develop in the defense domain is dual use and it can be used across whether it is the industry or in the defense. And in developing the defense domain, we use a lot of algorithms which are applicable outside. That, in a nutshell, this is what this slide is talking about. Next. Basically, what we say is the systems that we develop, whether in the defense or the industrial domain, are agnostic to the sensors that are actually connected to the system. In the sense, it does not matter to our platform whether it is a radar, sonar, a gun, or any other sensor which is of legacy nature, in the sense maybe the system is of 1980s vintage, 1990s vintage. We actually convert the data to suit our core system. What it basically essentially means is whatever be the external system, we convert it to suit our main core system. And then we perform the functions that are required in a defense domain. Next. Yeah. So these are the board of directors and the key people of the organization. I hope people are able to see it, or do I need to explain? Next. Next. So this is one of the go back. Yeah, this is one of the main decks of the company, where we are talking about command and control systems. In this command and control system family of systems, we have combat management system, integrated platform management system, anti-drone command and control system, drone command and control system, and integrated vessel management system. Going into each one of them, when we say a combat management system, it is basically towards the combat operations. Whether it is Army, Navy, Air Force, it is immaterial at this point of time. Combat management system is a generic terminology that is used. So whether it's Army, Navy, or Air Force, we provide the wherewithal for integrating all the weapons and sensors and then performing those operations that are critical in a warfighting scenario. When we say an integrated platform management system, in the naval parlance, this is basically used to communicate with all the machinery on board, whether you say the gas turbines, boilers, diesel engines, gas turbine generators, all other auxiliary equipment on board. And then it actually monitors and governs the parameters of the propulsion of the ship. And as we talk about anti-drone systems, you are well aware an anti-drone system is, whether for a sea platform or a land-based unit, it will have some radars, it will have some guns, it will have electronic warfare systems. All these we integrate, and we are one of the very few companies who have actually developed this system with both soft kill and a hard kill measure. When I say a soft kill measure, it means jamming the drone and bringing it down. And when we say a hard kill measure, it is actually shooting down the drone. So we have developed the technology for both the use cases, whether the user wants to directly shoot down the drone or the user wants to bring down the drone by jamming it. Whereas a drone command and control system is basically, you would have seen in this present day scenario, there are hundreds of drone makers. But if you have to utilize a drone in a tactical scenario, we are the only company who's making a drone command and control system to be used in a tactical scenario. That means we tell the drone in a hostile environment how to operate, where to go, what functions to carry. Then an integrated vessel management system is a combination of all the systems. In the sense, a complete vessel or a warfighting platform, there is one singular system which manages whether it is propulsion, whether it is navigation, whether it is warfighting. All of them are combined into a single platform, and that governs the functioning of the ship. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, we have, I think, more or less talked about most of the systems here. We have talked about combat management systems and other systems. This basically brings out what are the core functions and other things. I've already spoken about the combat management system. We have spoken about the integrated platform management system, where we talked about the machinery. Then we have spoken about the integrated vessel management system. We have spoken about drone command and control system. Then anti-drone system also we have spoken about. And some of the, this is an important aspect, that when we say we are providing a combat management system or systems that actually go into a war fighting platform, there are various subsystems that go into making a system. Just to give audience an idea about what is the size of a combat management system technically, volume wise. It is about, it fits in a 40 feet container that goes into, is taken by sea. So a combat management system has almost 40 subsystems that function together to meet the requirements of the platform. And these are some of the subsystems that actually go into a combat management system to form a complete system. Next. While we talk about our experience in the military domain, we also are in the industrial domain, where we are into virtual logistics, virtual supply chain, maintenance. And in most of these, we use AI and ML to enable us to do things intelligently. Next. So, what are our features that go into the digital platform when we say we interconnect devices and systems? That is an IoT integration. We have big data analytics, smart manufacturing, integration of physical and digital systems, advanced robotics and automation, and also cloud computing. These are some of the things that we do in digital transformation. Next. And what are the features of the digital transformation? As it has been shown on the screen, we augmented reality, digital twin technology, cyber security measures, supply chain digitization, and customization and flexibility as far as Industry 4.0 is concerned. Next. So these are some of the things which in the AML domain, whether it is big data analytics or whatever you say in the C4I systems, when we say a threat evaluation and a resource allocation, we talk about intelligent evaluation of various threats around us. So we use artificial intelligence to basically analyze the various types of threats. Then we also have natural language processing systems, which are part of our offerings. Next. Would Mr. Chandra take over this? Okay. This is just to give you an idea as to what could be a telescopic view as to our defense expenditure in India and what could be flowing down into the defense markets. What is the Indian defense production target? All these figures have been shown on the screen, and these are available in the open sources. So what is basically the aim of it is India in a big way is investing in defense market. The Atmanirbharta, which Mr. Chandra talked about, is basically earlier we were an importer defense. Right now, we are becoming an exporter defense market. So basically, from the Atmanirbharta, we are meeting our own requirements and also exporting to the other markets outside the country. That is what, in a nutshell, this slide talks about. Next. So basically, this I have spoken about defense imports and exports. What is the push by the government of India towards export to various countries? And as you see, Indian defense exports grew by 334% in the last few years, and we are actually dealing with 75 countries all around the world. So in that sense, we are an export-driven company also. While we cater to the local market, we also export to other countries various products of ours, like other companies in India. Next. Murtaza, would you like to take on this? You can unmute yourself.
Yeah.
So this is a brief analysis of what we've performed. 22-23, just after COVID, the markets really opened up and we started doing some sales. Our items are all long lead items, so by the time we got started, we did just about 8 crores. The breakthrough year for us was 23-24, where we did around 42 crores. Bottom line was always good. We're at around 25-30% PAT. And this year we've already achieved, we've beaten last year's targets of 41 crores. We've done 43 crores. And I think we're on course to do 200% CAGR from last year's numbers, maintaining the same margins.
Next.
As you can see, debts are quite low in the system. They're all self-explanatory.
So basically, what we are basically saying is what has not come out in all the previous slides. We are an ISO 9001. Then we are a CMMI level 3 company, highly quality conscious and process driven, process oriented. Everything, even the smallest of the software that is written in the company goes through process, and it is well documented. And it also talks about skilled professionals. When we hire people, we actually train them for over a year and a half so that they understand the domain that we are working into. And domain knowledge is extremely essential, because the entry barrier in the field of work that we do is very, very high. As Mr. Chandra had brought out, the cumulative experience in the domain is over 200 years. So it's very difficult to enter into this market without having that kind of experience that we have talked about. Next. Vaishnavi, can you add Mr. Chandra? He is not there.
Yes, I guess he has left, but I'm asking if he's rejoining.
Yeah, just let him rejoin.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So these are our basic highlights, as I've talked about earlier also. We have a wide range of products.
Sir, can you mute?
It's echoing. Rest can mute it, please. Is it still echoing?
No, not now.
Okay. So when we deliver complex systems to whether in India or outside India, and with the wide range of products, it's imperative that we provide an end-to-end service capability, in the sense the complete life cycle support, in the sense, for the if the life of a system that we provide is 15 years, we should be capable of supporting the system throughout the life cycle of the ship. So that is what we talk about. While we are developing wide range of products for all the three services, Army, Navy, and the Air Force, we also need to have a strong in-house R&D, which is a very, very strong focus area in our company. This R&D actually fuels two branches. One is to continuously improve the systems that we have already developed and keep ahead of the market, and also develop new systems as per the latest requirements of the market. And as I've already said, we have an international presence, we have a global customer base, and our after-sales service is second to none, because we provide 24/7 support to those countries that have already taken our equipment. Next. So basically talking about what has been our strategy, how we are approaching the business. Our strategy has been in the domain of staying excellent in the field of the work that we do. And we are strengthening our foothold in the Indian region as well as in the countries outside, in and around India, whether it is Southeast Asia, Middle East, or Africa. We are strengthening our position there. We have a strong customer relationships. We have a great marketing skills who are based in various countries. In the Middle East also people are based, and in Southeast Asia also people are based. We also have been able to effectively brand our systems because our systems are unique in nature and not many competitors. And as I've already spoken, we have been delivering systems to outside countries, competing against the biggest defense players in the world market. And that's a testimony to how we have been able to invest in our manpower, keep them with us, and continuously innovate and move ahead in the market. Next. Chandra sir, would you like to speak on this, please?
Yeah, look, over a period of several years, we have invested as promoters significant amount of capital into our business. The critical thing that we learned as we invested is that what we are delivering is not, at the end of the day, purely a command and control, but a platform that is able to take all the sensors and the seekers and the systems into a single, what I call as a platform, where you're able to do something which nobody else can do. So that is very unique to what we have done. And that software has been built with over 4.5 million lines of code. It's not replicable very easily, and that can only be done with a great deal of domain knowledge. What that has done for us is that we are able to come up with various other products that comes as a flow through from this basic system. We have done the same thing on the industrial platform as well, where industrial sensors can also come together. We have done the same thing on the data side as well, and we are building the same when it comes to artificial intelligence and the machine learning. So ours is really a platform company that anybody can use, that can add any sensors that they get from any part of the world, any seeker that comes from any part of the world, and to be able to do it. With this particular effort that we have put in, which is very highly intellectual property driven, we have been able to maintain a very high margins in our business. And some of what we do is a system number where there is no competition. That means we are L1 across the board. Once it's selected, it goes on for a number of years, and there are very few competition can come in and overturn us. For example, on some of the navigational systems that we have put out as a sub-product that came out of our platform, it is already an L1 status everywhere in a number of organizations in India, including Bharat Electronics and so on and so forth. So it's a long business. It's a business where once you enter, once you're there, you're in it for very, very long periods of time. But the initial selection process for you to get there is usually somewhere between 18 months and 24 months. So there's a long gestation period before it becomes an order, but once it becomes an order, it runs for 10 years. So investment rationale here is that this is a long horse running a marathon. That's the way I would describe it. This is not a racehorse that is very quickly doing things. But in spite of all of it, our growth, we estimate to be over 200% CAGR over the next a few years. The market is bigger than what we can grow into at this point in time. And that's one of the reasons why we decided to raise some working capital funding from this issue. But this is a very long journey that we are taking. Some of it is patient, some of it is real, some of it, once it gets through the patient phase, becomes a racehorse. Some of the products become racehorse. So that's the way I would describe this.
Next.
But Murtaza, you might want to take it. I don't know. I think the rest of it is very clear.
Murtaza sir.
Yeah, it's self-explanatory. This is all there. It's just basic highlights. They're coming up with a flat issue basically, diluting 26.25. Most of it is for working capital. Something is for a performance center that we're going to have in Dubai and in India. Some fit outs and purchase of some fixed assets in hardware and software in the existing operations, both internationally and in India.
Thank you. Now we will play a short video.
The future is connected. Powered by digital transformation and C4I systems, decisions are made in seconds. Every second counts. At C2C Advanced Systems, we empower those on the front lines of defense and security. Our solutions and systems link land, air, and sea platforms. We provide solutions that extend the life of legacy systems. Our expertise in artificial intelligence turns data into decisive actions. We provide intelligence where it matters most, and that is at the edge. Under the visionary leadership of Chairperson Lakshmi Chandra and the technical expertise of Commander Kuriedat Ramesh, we fuse innovation with decades of defense experience. From delivering combat management systems for the Royal Malaysian Navy to creating state-of-the-art command systems to global defense forces, C2C has established itself as a trusted partner. In our Experience Center in Bengaluru, visitors experience real-time, real-world simulation, testing the boundaries of what is possible today and preparing for tomorrow. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analytics empower decision-making in critical moments, whether for defense or space sectors. Our anti-drone systems protect key assets, enhancing situational awareness and securing the vulnerable areas and vulnerable points, VAs and VPs. For the defense forces across the globe, we deliver end-to-end solutions that ensure mission success in every environment. We provide three-dimensional solutions that deliver intelligence to the edge. At C2C Advanced Systems, we inspire excellence and are deeply involved and highly committed in shaping the future of defense and security infrastructure. Vigyanam cha kshamata yuktam sarvatra vijayi bhavet. Knowledge and capability together lead to victory everywhere.
Thank you for watching. Now we will start with the question and answer session. I request participants to post their questions and comment. Thank you. First question is from Vice Capital. What is the current order book and can we have some names from whom we have received contracts?
Our order book end of last year, that backlog that we went into this year was about 43 crores. And for the first, till September 30th, we booked another 40 crores or so. And We expect over the next 6 months, which is the last 2 quarters, numbers should be double or triple of what it was in the first 2 quarters for the company. We are not allowed to name the clients. Some of them are confidential, and it'll be unfair on our part to give you the names of the clients.
Next question. Nalini Kant. Our working capital days and receivable days are very high. What would be WC days and receivable days going forward?
Okay.
Muntaza, you want to answer?
Yeah, I'll answer that. Our working capital days and receivable days are very high, but I'd like to add that the debtors are high, but you have to see that not in isolation, but see that the creditors are very, very low. Our creditor cycle is just about 3 weeks, which is extremely low. I'll tell you the reason for that. Because we have a lot of items that come, and they're very critical items which are sourced from many players around the world, and we have to pay advances for those. And very few things are bought within India, and we get very little credit on that. Now, as far as the working capital days being high, the reason is the system is very complex. There are many items which are long lead items, and it takes a very, very long time for us to get all of them. Typically, when you make a CMS, by the time it's complete, it's almost a year. And during which time, by which all the items arrive at our premises where we can start working on them, it's anywhere between 4 to 6 months. Once that is there, and by the time we assemble everything and the system is ready, it's almost 8 to 9 months. And another 3 months go into 3 rounds of testing, one at our end, one from a neutral agency, and the third one is at the end of the client's end. Once we receive acceptance on that, only then is it that the payment is released as far as exports are concerned. And there is some stage-wise payments, but all in all, this is the reason why our payments are so delayed. And another primary reason why we went in for an IPO, and you see the why we've put in so much money in the objects of issue towards working capital, because working capital is paramount for us to grow.
Okay.
I think there's one question that you wanted to answer as we move forward.
There's another question that's saying, going forward, what will be the status? I think they'll come down. Now that we have a qualified system, it'll come down, but it will not come down to the extent that it'll become very good. It'll at best, I think we'll reach about 150 to 180 days from the current 240 days. Now that we have a qualified system, and if we can organize ourselves better in terms of procurement and give advanced procurement and orders, we'll be able to bring it down by maybe about 90 to 120 days. So I would say going forward, depending on our product mix, we should be anywhere between 150 to 180 days. I see that happening by the end of this financial year. We'll be at about 180 days, slightly below that. And it would get slightly better going forward in the coming years.
Okay. Next question. Shailendra, the product is software algorithm which cannot be protected as a patent. So the company is planning to create any barriers.
Let me answer that question. As a software platform, it is extremely difficult for anybody to replicate it, because this is an effort of over 8 to 10 years. And even if somebody were to leave us and go to some other place, it will take them at least 4 to 5 years. By the time we would have come up with another 5 different versions of it over a course of time. Entry barriers we cannot stop. What we can see around is there anybody who is even coming close to us? And we don't see anybody for the foreseeable future, specifically in India.
Next question. Yasha, BEL also has CMS product category C41 system. What are the major differences between both of these products?
Can I take on this, sir?
Yeah, please do.
Mr. Yash, Bell has a CMS product, but to be very frank, I don't want to be in a public domain talking about any company, but it has only half the product. And when I say C2C Advanced Systems has a product, in the C4I systems, we have a complete product. Now, to reveal in the public domain as to why I say half and why I say full, it will not be correct on my part to release, but CMS is there with Bell, but it's only half the system. The only company in the world, the only company in India which has the complete system is C2C Advanced Systems in India.
Can I add a little bit to it? Look, you have to view BEL as a system integrator. As a concept of a system integrator is they pick up pieces from various places, put it together, and then supply it as a single product. And government, by virtue of the fact that believes that it has to give everything to a public sector, I think, yeah, they have a reason to claim that they have a combat management system. And I personally think that they've delivered as well. The only difference, as Mr. Narendra said, we have the complete system, and that includes the tactical systems that is required to go into this, into a BL, into a CMS platform, is something that we possess, which I don't believe any of our competitors possess in India.
Next question, please. Contra value bets. Promoter holds roughly 41% after the equity dilution. When company is poised to grow at such a rate of 200%, then why promoters have sold such big stake on non-promoters?
Let me answer that question. Do you want to answer, Murtaza, or shall I do it?
I can answer also. I can add to it. Why we sold it? That is the only reason we're going to go at 200% CAGR. By selling this stake, we've put in all the money into the company. It will show in the balance sheet of C2C Advanced Systems, the promoter company C2CI, which is there in the RHP. All that money that was collected from there, the 21 lakh shares that were sold, all that money came into C2C Advanced Systems to fuel future growth. Otherwise, we cannot be talking about 200% CAGR for at least 3 years, because they're long lead items. Gestation periods are very long, and we were struggling with working capital needs. And at that time, when we decided to sell, there was uncertainty around the IPO timing as well. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to say, NSE took a very long time in giving us approval. So because of the uncertainty around this, we kept selling in a phased manner to fuel growth and make sure that the momentum doesn't stop as far as our top line is concerned. I hope that answers the question sufficiently.
Yes. Next question. Knowledge seeker. What is our moat? My company likes TCS can't copy our softwares.
Let me answer that question. I don't believe we are in the same league as TCS, Wipro, or any of them. They're an IT company. I don't believe that they have any great record of producing incredible amount of inventions and innovations around systems like what we do. I don't see I don't even require a moat with any of them. The thinking process is very different. Theirs is a model where it's large number of people engaged in IT activities. Ours is a small company, small team focused on the domain and very focused on technology to build what we are building. It's a completely different model.
I just want to add to it why TCS can't copy our software is because they don't have the domain knowledge as well, the expertise in defense, the 200 years of knowledge. Domain expertise is very critical to what we do.
Okay. Next question. Darshil Zaveri. What is company's 3 years vision in terms of revenue and profit margins?
Okay, as I said, revenue, I can't give figures, but I can definitely say that we would definitely go at 200% CAGR. Profit margins will relatively be around where they are today, around 28 to 30% profit after tax.
Next question. Yogesh, any specific reason for negative cash flow from operating activities?
Murtaza, you want to take it on?
No, I don't think there is any. It's only because of the data position being high. And I already explained sufficiently why the data position is high. Nothing else.
Just to answer your question, yes, data position was high, but I think as we We have seen in the last 6 months, we have collected quite a bit of the receivables, and the next 2 3 months we're going to collect.
Yeah, as I said, it's all based on milestone achievements which we have, and going forward, I think we're going to get a lot of collections. And as I said, we should see this in isolation. Our creditor cycle is very very low. We're paying everybody, whoever we buy materials from, in a average period of about 20 to 21 days. That says a lot also, where all the money is going.
Okay. Next question. Vishal Agarwal. Are these systems deployed as SaaS solution or hosted?
None of it is SaaS. We are not in the SaaS model. These are very bespoke, very, very specialized, very, very sensitive, very systems which protect the lives of our Indian soldiers. So it cannot be on a SaaS model or on a cloud model by any stretch. There are pieces of it that could be, but not certainly not the main systems and some of the subsystems.
Okay. Next question. Darshil Zaveri. Is the PAT margin of 25% be sustainable?
Absolutely, because we're doing proprietary products. At least in the foreseeable future, I think in excess of 25% is absolutely sustainable.
Next question. Abhishek Bansal. Hi. As per the ROC filings, company did 25 CR in financial year 19 in revenues, which fell to 5.5 CR in financial year 20. Could you please help us understand the reason on the fall in revenues and subsequent rise?
Only because of COVID, everything shut down. All of the defense players shut down. Our primary orders were from Malaysia, and Malaysia was shut down for 2 years. Even United States, where we are doing a lot of revenue, that was also shut down for a long period of time. We revived only in 22-23, when we actually got a first positive year in top line and bottom line, when we started our orders with America again.
Next question, please. Abhishek Bansal. Also, considering our product mix and growth in India defense spending, how do we assess the addressable market amongst the broader Indian defense spend?
The defense spend in India over the next till 2030 on equipment and primarily on the hardware and the software is going to be around 200, about somewhere in the region of 200 crores. $200 billion. So of this, we believe that our market size, where addressable market size that we have, somewhere just in the Indian market alone will be in excess of 15 to 20,000 crores. This does not take into account other areas that we are building right now. This is based on what we have currently. That's a market size that we have. That's why I said earlier, 200% growth doesn't even cut the mustard with regard to what is available.
Okay. Next question. Darshil Zaveri. Has any of our system failed testing ever? What happens if it fails? Will we need to start working on it again?
Yeah, I'll take it on. Most of you need to, when you say a system, you need to divide it into two parts, whether it is the hardware or the software. And when we talk about hardware, the hardware, before it is inducted into any military organization, undergoes shock, vibration, EMI, EMC tests, and all these tests before it goes. But yes, it has happened that one odd component of the system has failed after a year and a half, or 2 years. But these systems, once they fail, there is always a replenishment methodology. And as far as software is concerned, yes, we do testing, thorough testing, but sometimes we have bugs, and these bugs are reported, and then these bugs are cleared and given back to the customer. I'm not saying that we are 100% okay. We do also have small failures, but that these are not major failures. A component failure can happen at any point of time.
But it's replaceable. The point is that the software and hardware, if there's a bug in the software, it's quickly replaceable, and same with the hardware. And we do give critical spares to all our clients as well for whatever we anticipate might fail. That's a part of what goes with the system. Nothing major, minor and all rectifiable, if I may add.
Okay. Next question, please. Nitin, with the current run rate of working capital requirement, how do we fund the capital requirement for growth?
I think the current rate for working capital, we've already taken care of the future. We will go in for probably another round, which we've already mentioned in the RHP. If we want to do 200%, it depends on how much we want to do. As Mr. Chandra said, the market is ripe. There's more than what we can actually deliver. There's so many orders sitting around and it's beyond our capacity. So it depends on how we as a company decide on what to take and what not to take on. If we want to take on big work and grow even at a higher level, we will definitely need more money for working capital. We'll decide whether we need to take debt or we dilute further in terms of equity for future growth. But definitely we'll need more money for working capital for the rates that we're looking at going forward.
Next question. Nitin, with our current order book of INR 65 crores, how are we expecting to reach turnover of INR 130 crores in financial year 25 given our growth guidance?
See, these are orders in hand. There are a lot of orders that are going to come in November, December, and January, which we know about. But I can't say I have an order till it is actually with me. We have verbal orders, and we know we are already working on them. But the bureaucracy in all these organizations, they take some time to give it. But in a public document, I can't publish all that. That is not actually in my hand. In actuality, what we are working on is about 85 crores as of today, and it will only keep increasing as each month passes. We receive newer orders.
Next question. Abhishek Bansal. Speaking on debtor collection, how and when does the revenue recognition happens?
See, we've already answered that. On debt collection, it only revenue recognition happens once the second round of testing is complete by neutral agency. We bill it that once it reaches the client, the third round of testing happens, and that's when the actual when that's the time when he considers paying us. But revenue recognition happens upon the second round of testing by neutral agency. We're allowed to bill at that point in time.
Next question. Darshil Zaveri. On average, how much does one system cost? Are other countries willing to buy Indian products? How is the competition for our products?
That just proves that we're doing very well. Most of our products are exported. Most of our revenue, about 90%, is all export. That's a testament to our quality, that it's accepted in the international markets. Then I'll answer another question which comes up with this: why are we not working more in the Indian market? These are items which are very complex, and now going forward, we're going to get a lot of orders from the Navy and various other private players in India as well. Once we have this developed system, where L1 and we have qualified part numbers with all the major defense players in India. So going forward, you're going to see a mix in domestic revenues as well. The domestic revenues are going to go up a lot. On an average, a combat management system, if I were to
No. I don't think we should reveal the price of a system in the public domain.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he's right. We shouldn't be doing that because it's very dynamic and it changes. Each market is different.
Right. We'll move forward to the next question. Praveen Dubey. How are you retaining the talent and ensuring crown jewel is not taken away?
Yeah, I can answer that. To the last 6 years, our top management, we've had no attrition. And our attrition rate among even the younger colleagues of ours is not as high as the industry. Because one of the things that you will notice, and wherever we have read is the work environment is very good. The quality of work we give our people is very good. The quality of training is excellent. So we generally, at the senior levels, we have not had any attrition at all. And it is part of our program to certainly make them all part of the company by what I call as not what the ESOPs that give, but only the key stops, which is key individuals get equity in the company, and that's exactly how we are planning to move forward with keep retaining all our key people.
Just on the lighter note, when we started off, we took them as boys. Now, boys and young girls, they are now married, they have children, they are still with us. And the children have started going to school. So that speaks about how we are retaining our people.
Yes. Next question. Nitin, what is our opportunity size for the government's defense capex outlay?
I think I've already said this. I think addressable market with current product, current systems that we have, this does not include all we are building for the future. It's somewhere between 15 and 20,000 crores over the next 7 years.
Okay. Next question. Nimish Porwal. What is the expected growth in drone command and control and anti-drone system technology?
This is the future. As I said, we are a software first company, and our belief is autonomous systems, whether airborne or seaborne or land based, is the future of where the warfare is going. The command and control of all of them is complex, requires a lot of machine learning, AI, for which we're investing today. And we strongly believe that we have a platform today which is not only competitive, and I can also tell you recently we took on a contract on counter UAV, which the Israelis had failed to provide, and we are currently working on it to deliver it in the next 2 months. So this is an incredibly large market, and it's an evolving market. But I think we believe that we have all of what it takes to be a leader in this particular area.
Just to add, as I had explained in the during the presentation, you have a hard kill and a soft kill measure, and as we are speaking, the trials of the hard kill measure are going on as we are speaking to the investors.
Next question. Mohit, in recent developments, C2C have supplied systems to NATO. Can we expect same in future with growth in orders from NATO?
We've not
Yeah,
directly supplied to NATO. We've white labeled because you're not allowed to supply to NATO countries.
just to give you a little bit of a color to it, in the Americans and the NATO country can sell into India, and we cannot sell into NATO
Correct.
countries and the Americans. But that's about to change in the next 6 months. I think Mr. Raj, our honorable defense minister, has signed the first phase of what is called as reciprocal defense procurement program, which will allow India to be part of about 27 countries that can actually participate in those markets. And when that happens, which we expect within the next 6 months to 12 months, when the full agreement is signed, I think we will certainly be a factor to reckon with in the global markets, including the NATO countries.
Our traction in those countries will increase tremendously. Right now, we're white labeling. We can go directly into these markets, which open up huge avenues for us once this is signed.
Next question. Devanshi Waghela. Can you please explain the board structure, a little background about the members who are not present here, and how are the members related to each other?
Okay, so Mr. Commander Ramesh is a technologist who worked at the Weapons Engineering Group of the Navy and served in the Navy with distinction. Narendra, who's here, was also his colleague, very deep technologist out of BESI. One of my other colleagues who's not here is Commodore Pujari, who is an advisor to the group. Again, a person who has been in the weapons engineering group of the Navy, which is, by the way, the most important development center in India in the military field. And he was also in an organization which was working on the big data analytics for the government. And we have Lakshmi Chandra, who's an MBA from Rutgers University, also an entrepreneur. She happens to be my wife, but she's also the key investor in this company. And who else is there? Lieutenant General Pannu, who is a independent director, was the deputy chief of the Integrated Defense Services of the Indian Army, retired a few years ago. I would call him the thinking general, who's thinking continuously about how to take the warfare to the next level in the next decades. We have Shashi Gupta, who's a lawyer to the Supreme Court, and Neha Gupta, who's a company secretary, who's also on the board. Have I left out anybody, Murtaza?
No, I think you've covered everyone.
And
Kishore Soni. Kishore.
we have Mr. Kishore Soni, who was a very prominent bankruptcy specialist, but more importantly, a forensic accounting specialist who's been involved in a number of major transactions in the country. That's a board, that's a key people. There are at least another 7 or 8 key people in the company who I have not described, all with experiences of over 20, 25 years.
Next question, please. Nitin, since we have such immense software expertise, can we develop avionic systems?
No, it is not possible. Avionic systems is something that is not within our purview, because I treat avionic sensors as a sensor, systems as a sensor, because that's governed by the way a plane is designed, and it's not something that we would be able to get into, because it's really the purview of the large players like Raytheon and so on and so forth. But what is important for you to know is, coming out of the avionic systems is a whole bunch of data that comes in. The whole bunch of systems, data that comes out of it, that's part of a command and control system program. So specific things like avionic systems is not something that we do.
Next question, please. Is our entire system built to delivery, or do we have standard products offering?
Narendra, do you want to take it?
See, basically, we have a standard product and we modify the standard product as per the customer requirement. It is not, these systems are not one size fits all. Like if I give my system to a Malaysian Navy, the weapon equipment fit on the Malaysian naval ship will be different. If I give it to the Indian Navy, the weapon equipment fit on the Indian Navy will be different. So I have to customize it to some extent, but the core remains the same.
As I've said earlier, what we pride ourselves on is that core. It's something that other people, very few people in the world have. If you actually go into Google and find out, there'll be only one other company that has that kind of a core in the world. So that core is not the final product, but we have built, using that core, you can deliver any product for any specific design that the client requires.
Okay, next question. Dennis, how big is your vision? Do you aim to become a billion-dollar company? If yes, then by when?
Well, that's a tough question to answer. Our aim is to become bigger than anybody else, but that doesn't mean that we can get there. It's a very tough business. This is not a business for the faint-hearted. This is not something that anybody can walk in and say, I'm going to get there to be somebody to reckon with. There is an opportunity to become somebody to reckon with from India for the global markets. That we recognize, and we are working towards it. And I certainly hope the luck is with us, to get there.
Next question. Ananya Swaminathan. What a presentation flow. Everything was easy to follow and you made it super engaging.
Thank you.
Lavanya Krishnan, thank you and all the best for the IPO. I guess we have covered majority of the questions. Thank you everyone. Thank you Krishna sir. Thank you Narendra sir. Thank you Murtada sir and thank you Yogesh sir. All the best for the IPO.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank
So
you.
I would like to thank on behalf of Beeline. Thank you everyone for participating for this management discussion and investor meet of C2C Advanced Systems. C2C has built this company very passionately and looking at the growth plans. I'm sure company should do good in future. So I'm sure all the questions has been asked to all the satisfaction of the investors. So IPO is opening from 21st November. That's an anchor day. 22nd to 26th is for public, and lot size is 600 to 600 shares. Price band is 214 to 226 rupees, and IPO size is around 99 crores approximately. So as Beeline, we always look forward to get companies with a good management, having good business model. So we wish all the best to the company for their upcoming IPO and the future plans. Thank you once again to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you Yogesh sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone.
Thank you.